And just introduce yourself and let us know what it is that you do.
Hey, what's up? My name is Anno Domini. I'm the CEO of Anno Domini Nation, and we're basically a multi-platinum music production company. We do a lot of work for artists around the world. We've worked with people like 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Wu-Tang Clan, Rick Ross. We also do stuff for advertisements, video games, TV, film, the whole lot. And more than just being producers as well, we basically offer a 360-degree package and service arsenal to artists, including things like distribution, promotion, mixing and mastering, basically everything that you need to get your music out there.
So how did you get started doing production?
So I actually started making music about, 11 years ago now. That makes me feel really old. But I started out just making music for fun. I'd always been a huge hip-hop fan throughout my youth, ever since I was like 5 or 6 years old or something like that. But I never really got into the production side of thing, or really took much stock in it, or thought about it until I was all the way in college. Actually, I was like 19. So I was actually a late starter when it comes to music production. And I started out just making it for fun. I was, like most college kids, I was kind of bored one afternoon, I had nothing to do, I had a lot of downtime. So I started downloading this free software and just experimenting and making beats for fun. And before I knew it, I was just posting it online to get feedback and networking with other musicians and producers. And people were telling me they were feeling my beats, and after a while, I was getting offers to buy the beats. And that was the first time that, it kind of clicked in my mind that, hey, I can be a music producer. And it just kind of grew from there, it kind of snowballed. I got more and more into production. I was really enjoying it. And it definitely helped that it was paying for my college fees as well. So
Right.
that was a huge bonus. And that just kind of encouraged me to keep going. And over the years, I just kind of grew the team. At the beginning, it was just me. But I quickly realized that if I wanted to regularly put out new material and really keep in touch with people and stay on top of the game and compete with other producers, it would be much better for me to develop other producers and take them on board into the team. So it made sense for me to just grow Anno Domini, which is my producer name, into just a company, so Anno Domini Beats, and later Anno Domini Nation, which is just a collection of lots of different producers. So, I started adding just a few producers to start with, and by now we have a team of 11 international producers from all over the world, from my hometown, from Germany, from the UK, where I spent a lot of time, from Canada, the US, even a guy in Finland. So we're definitely multinational at this point.
Do you notice, so I know we're in Los Angeles right now, but do you notice a difference in production styles from the different places you've lived and traveled?
Yeah, hugely. When I was growing up in Germany, people seem to love the kind of really heavy underground gangster kind of sound. Like, people love really heavy hitting beats and stuff like that. And, to this day, people will listen to a lot of underground stuff. And even the kind of mainstream hip-hop artists still do, gangster hip-hop. Whereas in the UK, people love more kind of diverse styles, and they love more experimental music. All the, grime and dubstep, and just, taking elements from different genres of music and mixing it with hip-hop, which is pretty exciting, too. Ever since I moved out here, in the US, even before I came out here, I would travel around a lot, and there's huge differences between what people like on the East Coast and the West Coast. I always thought that people on the East Coast love the kind of sample-based sounds, which I guess is the kind of hip-hop that I was raised on too, that kind of East Coast, New York kind of sound, like Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, and all of that good stuff. And people on the West Coast, I find, obviously they have the whole G-Funk thing. They love live music, they love funky bass guitars, they love the live synth sound and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely big differences.
One thing that I always noticed that I always thought was really cool is, you've been able to kind of transition from, the internet based SoundClick and things like that to different platforms.
Right.
And then you created your own site. So why would you not just stay with a SoundClick or an established site like that? Why would you decide to go and make your own?
The thing about being on a site like SoundClick, or even SoundCloud, or even YouTube, even though they're sort of huge websites and they're amazing platforms to initially get your name out there, they're also kind of limited, and they're kind of cookie cutter in the sense that everyone's website looks exactly the same. It has the same features. Whereas if you build your own website or you create your own environment, you're limitless in your ideas. Just to sort of give you an idea, when I started out on SoundClick, all I would have on my page would be, like a little song player, and underneath that, like a PayPal button, for people to buy whatever song they like from the player, and maybe some fancy graphics around that. But when I developed my own website, basically we started offering all these additional services to artists, like mixing and mastering, like custom beats, custom hooks, and all of that. And you can create that in your own environment. And obviously, you're free to just basically do whatever that pops into your head. Any kind of new idea you have, anything you want to expand on, you can develop and you can create. Whereas, SoundClick and YouTube and SoundCloud, they have really stringent kind of rules, and you're in their environment. And the other thing as well is that, it's kind of a dangerous situation to be in, because if you're always dependent on another network or another platform, then what happens if that platform shuts down, or, they have a virus, or they're down for 2 days? That means you don't make any money for 2 days. Or for whatever reason, for example, using samples or something like that, you're uncompliant with their policies, and all of a sudden you get shut down. There's nothing you can do, you can't argue with YouTube about having your channel suspended. No one's going to listen to you. So on your own website, you're completely free to do whatever you want. You set your own rules. You're your own master. And to me, that's just much more gratifying and just gives you way more freedom.
And then as a producer, there are a lot of producers out there who really don't know how to find clients or how to reach clients. And I always thought you've been very good at, retention with your clients and making sure you get their email addresses and communicating. So as a producer, what are some ways to kind of get your name out there and to promote yourself better?
I guess the point is you need to give people something really valuable. There's got to be a reason why they get to you instead of like the other 200 million producers, in this day and age, it's so easy for anybody to just download some free software and start making beats and call themselves a producer. So if you want to compete with other producers, you need to make sure, first of all, that you're giving people high quality, and secondly, that you're engaging people better than other producers are. A lot of people just tend to sell way too hard. They come on really strong. Literally, their entire marketing and their entire business plan is just, here's my beat, here's a buy now button, just get it now, it's hot, trust me on this one. And that's the end of the conversation. But if you really want to engage with artists, and you want to build a relationship, and you want to build that kind of long-term trust and that long-term business, then you need to be talking to them personally. You need to be communicating via email. You need to be staying in touch. You need to be offering them deals and discounts and stuff like that. And don't be afraid to give out free stuff too. Like, too many producers are just way too protective of their stuff. I understand that your beat is your baby. You don't want to necessarily just throw it out there and give it away for free. But at the same time, if somebody has never worked with you before, they don't know your stuff. They might not necessarily know your name. So they want to get like a little sampler just to hear what you're about. So just don't be afraid to give out some free beats, even if they're just old beats, even if they're just for non-profit or whatever. Just give people a little taste, basically.
I'm glad you kind of mentioned that. Can you talk to me a little about tagging your beats and why is that important? And a lot of artists, sometimes they get upset. I'm sure you get a lot of emails like, they don't want to buy the beat, but they want you to take the tag out.
So the reason that I tag my beats, I didn't always tag my beats. When I was starting out, I had no tags at all. But unfortunately, the way the internet works, people just see that as like a blanket license to steal your shit, to put it on the internet, to even sell it as their own creation. And after like years of just taking that kind of abuse, I just kind of put my foot down. So I kind of found like a happy medium, which is to place like a few tags throughout the beat, somewhere like before the hook or after the hook or something like that, where it's not too invasive. So people can still download the beat, they can still sample it, they can try it out, they can record a track, and then eventually license it, if they like it. But, at the same time, obviously your beat is protected, so unless someone's actually going to make the effort of kind of slicing up like individual parts, which happens too, by the way. But you just feel like a little bit more secure, and it definitely helps in just stopping some of those people from just jacking your beats.
And one thing you mentioned earlier with the different services, and I always liked that you've done contests.
Yeah.
Can you explain kind of how some of those work and also how that's beneficial to you and your brand?
So the reason we do the contests, there's actually two reasons. The first reason, and the most important one to me personally, is just as a way to say thank you to the artist community and a way to kind of support independent artists. Because, I came from an independent musician background as well, so I don't want to lose touch of where I came from, and I don't want to lose touch with the people that supported me when I was starting out. So it's important for me to give something back. So we always have kind of cash prizes, we always have beat prizes, we always have promotion prizes, and often we'll just do free contests, like absolutely no strings attached. Sometimes we'll host special contests just as a reward for our customers, for as a thank you for buying a beat, you get to enter the contest, stuff like that. So so the one side of it is really important to me, which is just supporting artists. And the other side is obviously branding and marketing too, in the sense that contests obviously attract a lot of people, it attracts a lot of attention, and it just gets your name out there, it gets people sharing, gets people talking about you, and it's just a great tool to basically get more traffic to your website and get more people talking about you and your brand.
And where can artists find your beats online? How can they get a hold of you? Where can they find production from Anno?
Anywhere, basically. We're everywhere at this point. But our main website is annodominination.com. That's our main beat website. You go there if you want to buy beats. You go there to get all our services like the mixing and mastering you were saying. If you want to get artist features as well, we organize those with a lot of big time artists in the industry. We also do custom hooks by singers and stuff like that. If you want to connect with us socially, definitely add us on Facebook. Just search Anno Domini Beats, or find us on Twitter or YouTube. Basically all the usual channels. So, yeah.
Cool. Any final shoutouts?
Yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who listens to our beats on the daily, everyone who's rocked with us since 2004, everyone who's been rocking with us since right now, and everyone in between. So thank you guys very much. And thank you for taking the time out.